There comes a moment in life when the unseen hand of God begins to move in ways that are beyond human comprehension. When the divine is preparing to bless you with something greater than you have ever known, the signs will not be written in the sky, nor will they be announced with thunder. Instead, they will whisper to you in the depths of your being, calling you to recognize the shift that is unfolding. The first sign is a deep inner stirring, a knowing without evidence. It is as if your soul is awakening from a long sleep, sensing that something extraordinary is on the horizon. You may not be able to explain it, but within you there is a quiet assurance that a transformation is near. The world around you may look the same, but your perception of it begins to change, and you start feeling an unusual sense of expectation. Then you will notice doors closing. Opportunities you once relied on may suddenly vanish. People who once walked beside you may distance themselves. Do not mistake this for loss. It is a divine redirection. When God is preparing to give you something bigger, He clears the path of everything that no longer serves your destiny. What seems like rejection is in truth protection, for you are being led towards something that aligns with the highest version of yourself. A sense of isolation may come next. You might feel as if you are walking this path alone, misunderstood by those around you. But understand this: solitude is a sacred space where God refines you, where He strips away distractions so that you may hear His voice clearly. In the silence, revelation comes. You begin to see with spiritual eyes, no longer bound by appearances, but guided by faith. There will be trials, tests of endurance and patience. These are not obstacles to deter you, but lessons to prepare you. Before elevation, there is always transformation. You are being shaped, molded, strengthened for what is to come. Trust that every challenge is a step toward your breakthrough, and know that no test is given without the grace to overcome it. Unusual synchronicities will begin to appear. Signs and symbols will align in ways too perfect to be coincidence. A word spoken by a stranger, a dream that stirs your heart, a repeated message appearing in unexpected places. All of these are whispers from the divine, assuring you that you are on the right path. Pay attention, for the universe speaks in a language of signs. A deep peace will settle over you, even in uncertainty, even when nothing in the external world confirms what you feel inside. You will experience a quiet confidence. This peace is the ultimate sign that what is meant for you is already unfolding. It is not based on circumstances, but on an unshakable trust that God is at work. And then, just when you least expect it, the breakthrough will come. It will not come through force, nor through struggle, but as a natural unfolding of what was always meant to be. When you are aligned with divine will, nothing can stand in the way of what is destined for you. There is a divine orchestration that cannot be rushed, a timing that is beyond human understanding. When God is about to bless you with something beyond your imagination, He first prepares you to receive it. He does not place something grand into hands that are not yet ready to hold it. So He begins His work in the quiet places of your heart, shifting your thoughts, breaking your old limitations, and awakening a new consciousness within you. You may find yourself questioning everything you once believed. The old ways of thinking no longer satisfy you. The things you once chased after seem unimportant. A hunger for something more begins to grow within you, and though you may not know exactly what it is, you cannot ignore the pull. This is the divine call to expand, to step beyond the self you have known, for you cannot receive a new reality while holding on to an old identity. Then comes the breaking away. The things that once felt secure begin to crumble. Friendships, habits, environments, even careers may suddenly shift. You may feel as if you are losing everything familiar, but this is not destruction, it is divine reconstruction. God does not take away to leave you empty. He removes so that He may fill you with something greater. He pulls away everything that no longer aligns with your highest good. What was once a comfort zone begins to feel restrictive, and you realize you can no longer stay where you are. This is when fear tries to creep in. The mind, conditioned by years of limitation, will resist change. It will whisper doubts, make you question the path, urge you to turn back to what is familiar. But you cannot go back. Once the divine hand has touched your life, once you have been awakened to a higher reality, the old world loses its power over you. You may try to return, but you will find that you no longer fit. The people around you may not understand. They may call you foolish, tell you that you are making a mistake, but their words will not shake you, because deep inside you know the truth. You are being called to something greater. At first, nothing may seem to be happening. Days, weeks, even months may pass, and you will wonder if you were mistaken. The vision God placed in your heart seems distant, and the evidence of its arrival is nowhere to be found. This is where faith is tested. Will you trust in what you cannot yet see? Will you hold on to the knowing even when everything in the physical world tells you otherwise? Those who surrender in this moment, who give up because they see no movement, miss the blessing that was already forming. But those who persist, who continue to believe, will soon witness the manifestation of what was promised. And then suddenly the first signs will appear. A door that seemed forever closed will open. A connection will be made, an opportunity will come, seemingly out of nowhere. But it was never out of nowhere. It was always there, waiting for you to align with it. The divine does not rush, he prepares. And when the time is right, the shift will happen so effortlessly that you will marvel at how it all came together. You will look back and understand why things happened the way they did. The disappointments, the closed doors, the delays, all of it was leading you to this moment. The struggle was never to break you, it was to shape you. The waiting was never a punishment, it was a refinement. What is truly meant for you will never be withheld, but you must be ready to receive it. And so, when you sense that something big is coming, trust the process. Trust the preparation, trust the divine order that is working on your behalf. The signs will be there, not always in flashing lights, but in the stillness of your heart, in the shifting of your spirit, in the unfolding of events that seem too perfect to be coincidence. God does not plant dreams in your heart without the intention to bring them to life. If you have felt the calling, if you have sensed the shift, if you have seen the signs, then know this: what is coming is far greater than what you are leaving behind. There will be days when your faith is tested, when doubts creep in, when circumstances seem unchanged. But remember, the unseen is always at work before the seen takes form. The moment you desire something in your heart, the universe begins moving to bring it to you. The delay is not denial, it is a divine process ensuring that everything falls into place at the right time. You may notice that your intuition becomes sharper. You feel nudges, whispers, guiding you toward new choices. The same places and conversations that once seemed normal may begin to feel off, as if you no longer belong in them. You will be drawn to new ideas, books, messages, and even people who align with the vision that is unfolding within you. You may start waking up in the middle of the night, feeling an unshakable energy, as if something is being downloaded into your spirit. Pay attention, for these are not accidents. They are divine signals, preparing you for what is to come. There is a shedding that must take place. The old version of you cannot walk into the new reality that God has prepared. The doubts, the fears, the limiting beliefs must be released. The way you spoke, the way you thought, the way you carried yourself, if these things no longer align with the higher version of you, they must go. This is why discomfort comes before the blessing. This is why everything seems to be shaken before the breakthrough happens. The shaking is necessary. It is stripping away everything that does not serve your next level. You may feel exhausted, as if something within you is changing on a deep level. You may experience moments of loneliness, even sadness, because transformation is not always comfortable. The people who once fit in your life may start drifting away. The conversations that once interested you may now feel meaningless. Do not resist this process. Embrace it. What is meant for you cannot miss you, and what is leaving you was never meant to stay. The greatest sign that something big is coming is the deep peace that settles within you, even when the circumstances have not changed. This is the moment when you know, not because you see it, but because you feel it. You no longer look outside for validation. You do not ask others if they believe in your vision. You simply know. And this knowing is the evidence that your manifestation is near. It will not come through force. It will not require you to chase or struggle. It will flow to you effortlessly at the appointed time. And when it does, you will realize that it was never about just receiving something external. It was about becoming the person who was ready to hold it. The real blessing was not the thing itself, but the transformation that took place within you. Because once you have become that person, once you have stepped into that awareness, you will never again doubt the power of what is within you. You will never again wonder if God is listening. You will know that He was always there, always guiding, always preparing you for what was already yours. And when you finally step into the blessing, when you receive what was always meant for you, something even greater happens. You no longer see yourself as separate from it. You no longer question if you deserve it. You no longer fear that it will be taken away, because by the time it arrives, you have already become one with it in your mind. It was never outside of you, it was always within, waiting for you to recognize it as yours. The struggle was never about achieving something external. It was about awakening to the truth of who you are. You will notice that your fears have faded. The worries that once consumed you now seem distant, as if they belonged to someone else. The weight that you carried for so long is gone, and in its place is a lightness, a knowing, a quiet certainty that no storm can shake. It is not arrogance, it is alignment. It is not wishful thinking, it is divine authority. You have stepped into the awareness that nothing outside of you has power over your destiny. You are not waiting on circumstances to change, you are the one who changes. And then the circumstances must follow. The people around you will sense it. Some will be drawn to your presence without understanding why. Others may resist, feeling the shift, but not yet ready to step into their own. Do not take this personally. Your journey is not to convince others. It is to become the living proof of what is possible. You are not here to explain how it happened. You are here to embody it. And when they are ready, they too will begin to awaken, inspired by the light that you now carry. At first it may seem so real. You will look at the life unfolding before you, the opportunities aligning, the doors swinging open, and you will remember the days when it all felt impossible. The moments when you almost gave up, the nights you cried out for a sign, the times you questioned if God had forgotten you. All of it will make sense. The waiting was not wasted. The struggles were not in vain. Every lesson, every hardship, every closed door was necessary, because without them you would not have become the person who now stands in this reality. You will see that the delays were not punishments, they were divine protection. The things you once begged for, the things you thought you needed, you will realize they were never meant for you. And you will be grateful that they did not come when you asked, because now you understand. They would have been too small for the person you have become. What God had planned was far greater than what you had envisioned. There is a sacred humility that comes with this awareness. You do not take credit for the unfolding, yet you do not shrink from it either. You walk in it with gratitude, with confidence, with the quiet understanding that you were chosen for this. Not because you were more deserving than others, but because you were willing. Willing to trust when there was no evidence, willing to let go when it felt like loss, willing to believe even when everything in the physical world told you otherwise. And so the cycle continues. Just as you were called, just as you were prepared, just as you were tested, so too will others walk this path. And when they come to you seeking understanding, when they ask how you knew, how you held on, how you made it through, you will smile. Because you will remember what it felt like to be in their shoes, standing on the edge of the unknown, searching for a sign. And you will tell them what you now know to be true, that the signs were always there, that the promise was always theirs, and that the greatest manifestation is not the thing itself. It is the transformation that happens within. There will be more mountains to climb, more seasons of growth, more moments where you are called to expand again. But this time, you will not fear them, you will not resist, because now you know that every ending is a beginning, every loss is a preparation, every challenge is an invitation to step into something greater. The process does not stop, it evolves, and so do you. You are no longer the person who waits in doubt, you are the person who walks in faith. You are no longer asking when the blessing will come, you are living as if it is already here. And that is the final sign, the one that cannot be faked, the one that cannot be rushed. When you no longer chase, when you no longer beg, when you no longer question, when you simply know, then and only then does the manifestation arrive. Not because you forced it, but because you became it. And in that moment, you will understand that you were never waiting on God, He was always waiting on you. And as you step deeper into this new phase, you will encounter even more signs, more synchronicities, that confirm you are exactly where you need to be. The whispers of the universe become louder, and the signs of divine favor appear in ways that leave no room for doubt. It will no longer be a matter of if, but a matter of when. You will find that everything is falling into place so naturally, so effortlessly, that the only explanation is divine timing. Every little action you take, every word you speak, every step you make will feel aligned with your purpose. It will feel as if you're not even trying anymore. Everything flows with ease. The things that once felt like obstacles now feel like opportunities. You will begin to see the world through different eyes, recognizing that the divine is not outside of you, but it moves through you, shaping your experiences, transforming your reality, in ways that you could never have imagined. What once appeared as a challenge is now understood as the universe's way of positioning you for the next great thing. This is where the true transformation occurs. As you stand in the fullness of your blessing, you no longer look at yourself as someone who is waiting to receive something. You see yourself as the one who is already living in the manifestation, already walking in the truth of your desires. You become the embodiment of the very thing you sought for so long. You start to realize that the gap between where you were and where you are now was not a time of waiting, but a time of becoming. In this process of becoming, you are also changing the energy around you. People will notice the shift in your vibration, the new aura of peace and confidence that you exude. Your presence will become magnetic. The energy of abundance and possibility that surrounds you will draw in the right opportunities and the right people. You will start attracting experiences that resonate with the highest version of yourself. And with each new experience, your reality will reflect more and more of the life you have been envisioning. But even as you experience this, there will be moments of uncertainty. Even though everything in your life is moving in the right direction, there will be moments where doubt tries to creep in. These are the moments when your faith will be tested. These moments are not meant to break you, they are meant to strengthen you. You will learn to trust the divine process, even when the evidence isn't visible. This is where the unseen becomes more important than the seen. This is where you truly begin to walk by faith and not by sight. What you must remember in these moments of doubt is that your journey is not linear. There are seasons in life where things will feel slower, where progress seems hidden, but this is merely the space where the seeds you've planted are growing beneath the surface. And just as the seed must first break apart and be buried in the soil before it can grow, so too must you go through periods of growth that are not immediately visible to the eye. The quiet moments of uncertainty are the very moments when everything is aligning perfectly behind the scenes. The signs you are receiving, the messages and intuitions, are not random. They are divine confirmations that you are on the right path. As you stay present, as you stay aligned with the vision that has been placed in your heart, you will begin to notice how the universe begins to work in your favor. Opportunities will seem to find you effortlessly. Relationships that support your growth will appear. Things that were once out of reach will become accessible. This is how you know that something big is on its way. And it's not just the external world that is changing, it is you. You are the one who is shifting into alignment with the abundance that is already yours. Even in those moments when you feel that the manifestation is taking longer than you anticipated, Trust in the perfection of divine timing. Nothing happens by accident. Nothing happens outside of the divine order. What is meant for you cannot be delayed, and what is not meant for you will be removed. Trust that everything is unfolding in perfect timing and you are exactly where you need to be. The only thing required of you is to continue believing, continue trusting, and continue walking as if everything you desire is already yours. The signs of a blessing on the way are not always dramatic or grandiose. Sometimes they are subtle shifts in your consciousness. A thought you've had many times suddenly lands in a new way. A person you've known for years suddenly says something that resonates with you in a deep way. A circumstance you've been waiting for takes an unexpected turn, and suddenly things make sense. These signs are not always big, but they are powerful. They speak to your heart, not your eyes. They remind you that the work you've done, the growth you've experienced, is leading you to exactly where you are meant to be. As you look forward to what is to come, let go of any remaining attachment to how things should unfold. Release the need for control, surrender your plans, your expectations, and allow the divine to guide you. Trust that what is coming will be far greater than anything you could have ever imagined. You have been prepared for this moment, and you are more than ready to receive it. And when it arrives, when you finally witness the manifestation of what you've been waiting for, remember that this is not the end, it is only the beginning of a new chapter. What God has in store for you will continue to expand, continue to unfold, and you will continue to grow into the person who is ready to receive even greater blessings. This is how the divine works, always elevating, always expanding, always creating new levels of possibility. But even before that moment of arrival, you will know deep within you that it is already on its way. You will feel it in the air. You will see the signs, no matter how subtle they may be. And you will know that the blessing is not something coming to you from the outside, but something awakening from within. You have already called it forth. You have already aligned with it. And now it is coming to meet you where you are. This is the power of faith, the power of believing before seeing, the power of knowing that the divine is always working in your favor, always leading you toward your highest good. The signs are not for you to question, they are for you to trust. They are not meant to show you that your dreams will come true, they are meant to remind you that your dreams are already on their way. So when you see the signs, trust them. Trust that they are a confirmation of what is already unfolding. Trust that you are on the right path. Trust that God is always with you, always guiding you, always leading you toward the next step. And trust that when the time is right, what is meant for you will come, effortlessly, perfectly, and in the most divine way imaginable. The only thing you need to do is stay aligned, stay faithful, and continue to walk as if everything you've ever wanted is already yours. In the moments leading up to the manifestation of what you've been desiring, you will begin to feel an undeniable sense of anticipation in the air, as though everything is on the verge of something big. Even when the world around you remains quiet, you will sense that there is a shift occurring, a shift that only those who are aware, those who are attuned to the signs, will feel. This quiet anticipation is the subtle yet profound confirmation that God is working in your life. It is not a time to doubt, but a time to trust and hold steadfast to the vision that has been planted in your heart. During this period of transition, you will also notice that your thoughts and emotions are becoming more elevated. You may experience moments of pure inspiration and clarity. Ideas that once seemed impossible now seem not only possible, but inevitable. This is a sign that you are tapping into a higher frequency of awareness. You are no longer limited by the constraints of the physical world. You are beginning to operate in the realm of divine possibility. You may also feel an overwhelming sense of peace, as though you are at one with the flow of life. The worries and anxieties that once plagued you seem to dissipate. You no longer feel the need to rush or force things to happen. You have released the need to control the outcome, because you now trust that it is already on its way. You trust that the universe is bringing you exactly what you need, exactly when you need it. In this space of peace, you will begin to see that the manifestation you've been waiting for is not an external event, but an internal one. It is an expansion of consciousness. It is the realization that you are already worthy of everything you desire. You are already aligned with the abundance, the love, the success, the happiness that you seek. What you've been waiting for has always been within you, and now, as you have grown and transformed, it is simply a matter of time before it becomes your physical reality. You will also notice that the world around you is starting to mirror your internal transformation. The people in your life will begin to reflect your new energy. Those who have supported your journey will become even more present and aligned with you. They will offer you the help, encouragement, and opportunities you need to move forward. And those who are not aligned with your new path may begin to fade away, not because of anything you've done, but because they no longer resonate with the person you have become. This is not a time to hold on to what no longer serves you. It is a time to release, to let go of attachments, to make space for the new blessings that are on their way. The old must make room for the new, and this process of release can sometimes be challenging. But understand that the things, people, and situations that no longer align with your highest good are being removed not as a punishment, but as an act of divine love. It is God clearing the path for you, making space for the blessings that are waiting to enter your life. The more you let go, the more you will feel a sense of lightness. The weight of the past, the weight of your doubts, the weight of your fears will begin to lift, and in its place will be a sense of freedom. The freedom to step fully into your purpose, the freedom to embrace the vision of who you are becoming. This is when you will feel the power of your own divine nature more profoundly than ever before. You will realize that you have always been in control of your reality, and now, with this awareness, you can consciously choose the experiences that align with your highest desires. As the manifestation draws nearer, you may also notice that your inner dialogue is shifting. The negative self-talk, the limiting beliefs, the doubts that once held you back are starting to lose their grip on you. You will catch yourself speaking in ways that are more empowering, more positive, more affirming of your worth. You will catch yourself visualizing the life you desire as if it is already here. You will no longer be speaking in terms of I hope, or I wish, or I want. You will begin to speak in terms of I am, I have, I know. This shift in language is powerful because it reflects a shift in your consciousness. You are no longer asking for permission. You are claiming what is rightfully yours. In this place of alignment, you will begin to notice the synchronicities that surround you. They may show up in the form of a song that speaks directly to your situation, a conversation with a stranger that offers the exact insight you need, or a series of seemingly random events that come together in perfect harmony. These synchronicities are God's way of reminding you that you are on the right path. They are signs that you are not alone, that you are being guided every step of the way. And as you notice these synchronicities, you will begin to trust more deeply in the divine plan that is unfolding in your life. The more you trust, the more the universe will confirm your trust with blessings, opportunities, and experiences that reinforce your belief in the unseen. It will become clear that what you once saw as coincidences were never coincidences at all. They were divine interventions guiding you towards the life you've always dreamed of. As you continue to walk this path, you will realize that what you've been waiting for was never a destination but a journey. The manifestation, the blessing, the abundance that you've been seeking, these are not just the end result, they are part of the ongoing process of your growth, your transformation, your becoming. Every step you take along the way brings you closer to the fullest version of yourself, and as you evolve, so does the manifestation. The more you grow, the more you align with your true purpose, the more your desires manifest in ways that feel effortless and natural. This process of growth is ongoing. Just as the seed continues to grow, sprout, and reach for the sun, so too will your life continue to unfold in perfect divine timing. What you experience today is only a glimpse of the infinite possibilities that are ahead of you. The moment you think you've reached your fullest potential, you will find that there is always another level, another opportunity, another manifestation awaiting you. And even as the manifestation arrives, as the blessing pours into your life, it is essential to remember that this is not the end. It is just the beginning of a new chapter, a new season of growth, abundance, and transformation. There will always be more to come. What God has in store for you is infinite. And as you continue to live in alignment with your true self, as you continue to trust in the divine process, you will begin to see that the signs, the synchronicities, the manifestations, they were always leading you to this moment. The moment when you would realize that everything you have been through, everything you have experienced, has been preparing you for this. You are exactly where you are meant to be, and everything that is meant for you is already on its way. You will come to realize that the universe has always been on your side. Every challenge, every obstacle, every difficult moment was not a punishment, but a purposeful step in your evolution. When things did not go as you had planned, it was simply life redirecting you toward a path that was more aligned with your true desires. The disappointment you once felt was merely a misunderstanding. What seemed like a loss was actually an invitation for something greater. In the moment of hardship, you may have wondered why things weren't working out, but as you look back, you will understand that those setbacks were simply preparing you for the divine appointment that awaited you. The truth is, everything in your life has been preparing you for this moment, and you have been more than ready. You may have doubted yourself, questioned your worthiness, or even wondered if the dreams you've been holding on to were too big. But now, as you reflect on the journey, you realize that there was no need to question. All of those signs, all of those moments of divine guidance were meant to show you that your dreams were always meant for you. Now, as you stand on the precipice of this new chapter, it will feel like the universe itself is conspiring to help you succeed. Opportunities will start to present themselves in ways you could never have predicted. They will come from unexpected sources, but they will come. You may even experience moments of synchronicity where things fall into place effortlessly. The right people will enter your life at exactly the right time. The resources you need will appear just when you need them. This is not coincidence, this is divine timing. And as these things unfold, you will feel the truth in your heart that you are exactly where you are supposed to be. In moments of doubt or fear, return to the knowing that you have been led here. You are not alone. The universe is moving in perfect alignment with your desires. Trust that you are being guided every step of the way, even when you cannot see the full picture. The path ahead will become clearer with each step, and in time you will see that everything that has happened up to this point was part of a larger divine plan. A plan that only God could have orchestrated. You will also find that as you embrace this new reality, you begin to step into your true power. The fear, the uncertainty, the limitations that once held you back will fall away. In their place, you will feel a newfound confidence, one that comes not from external validation, but from an inner knowing that you are more than capable of handling everything that comes your way. You will recognize that you are the creator of your own reality. What you have been waiting for, what you have been dreaming of, has always been within you. You were born for this. You were born to receive your blessings. And as you step into this new chapter, you will notice a shift not just in your external world, but in your inner world as well. Your relationship with yourself will deepen. You will begin to love and accept yourself in ways you never thought possible. The parts of you that were once hidden, that you were afraid to show, will now come into the light. You will no longer feel the need to hide or shrink yourself in the presence of others. You will stand tall in the fullness of who you are, embracing every aspect of your being. This love for yourself is not about arrogance or pride. It is about recognizing your inherent worth. It is about understanding that you were always worthy of the blessings that are now coming to you. And as you fully accept this truth, you will find that your life begins to reflect this newfound sense of self-love. You will attract people, experiences, and opportunities that align with the highest version of who you are. This is the law of attraction in its purest form. When you love yourself and know your worth, the universe reflects that back to you. As you continue to align yourself with the truth of who you are, you will also begin to notice that you are no longer seeking validation or approval from others. You no longer feel the need to prove yourself. You simply show up as you are, knowing that you are enough. This inner knowing will free you in ways you never imagined. You will no longer feel the need to chase after things or people to feel complete. You are already complete. You are already whole. In fact, the more you embrace this sense of completeness, the more you will attract everything you've ever wanted. The universe operates in cycles of abundance. The more you align with your true self, the more the universe aligns with you. Opportunities will flow effortlessly into your life. The relationships you desire will blossom. Financial abundance will begin to manifest in ways you never imagined. Your health will improve and your confidence will soar. This is the flow of divine abundance, and once you tap into it, it becomes a constant, unbroken stream in your life. But it is important to remember that this process of manifestation is not about forcing or striving. It is not about controlling or manipulating the universe. It is about surrendering to the flow. It is about trusting that what is meant for you will come at the perfect time. You do not need to chase after it. You do not need to make it happen. All you need to do is align yourself with the truth of who you are, and the universe will respond. The manifestation of your desires is not just about receiving the material things you want. It is also about the internal transformation that happens along the way. You are becoming more and more aligned with your true purpose. And as you step into this alignment, you will find that everything in your life begins to change. Your career, your relationships, your health, and your finances will all shift in ways that reflect the deeper work you've done. The external world is simply a reflection of your internal world. As you evolve internally, so too will your outer reality. And as you continue on this journey, you will realize that the manifestation of your desires is not a destination. It is a continuous process of growth, expansion, and alignment. The moment you think you have arrived, you will discover that there is always another level of evolution awaiting you. This is the beauty of the spiritual journey. There is always more to discover, more to learn, more to become. Each step along the way is a step toward greater self-realization and greater alignment with your divine purpose. And with each step, you will find that the signs you are receiving grow clearer and clearer. The synchronicities become more frequent. The divine guidance becomes more apparent. And you will find that your desires are not far off. They are already in motion, already on their way. You are simply witnessing the unfolding of what has already been set in motion. So as you move forward, trust the signs, trust the process, trust that what you have been waiting for is already on its way. You are aligned with the universe, you are aligned with your higher self, and you are now walking in the fullness of your divine purpose. Every step you take brings you closer to your dreams, closer to your true power, and closer to the manifestation of everything you've ever desired. Trust that it is all unfolding perfectly, and trust that you are exactly where you need to be. As you continue to walk the path toward your desires, you will notice that you no longer feel the need to force things to happen. There is a quiet confidence that begins to take root within you. The days of pushing and striving are over. The struggle no longer holds power over you. You have come to realize that the key to receiving your blessings is not in the effort, but in the surrender. You surrender to the flow of life. You surrender to the natural unfolding of your desires. You surrender to divine timing. In this surrender, you find peace. The anxious thoughts that once plagued you begin to dissipate. No longer do you wake up each morning wondering if today is the day everything will fall into place. Instead, you wake up with a sense of calm, knowing that your desires are already on their way. You are not waiting for something to happen. You are witnessing the process of manifestation. You are no longer attached to the outcome, but rather you are enjoying the journey. You begin to understand that the universe operates in perfect order. There is a rhythm, a flow, a divine timing that governs all things. What is meant for you will come to you at the perfect moment. You no longer need to rush. You no longer need to chase after your dreams. The moment you release the need to control the process, everything begins to fall into place. This is when the magic truly happens. When you let go of your expectations, you open yourself up to receiving more than you could have ever imagined. The blessings that you once thought were out of reach are now within your grasp. you will find that opportunities begin to show up in your life in ways that are beyond your wildest dreams. The doors that were once closed begin to open. The people who once seemed distant now draw near. Your financial abundance begins to flow. Your health improves. Your relationships flourish. And your sense of purpose becomes clearer than ever before. But even as you witness this beautiful unfolding, you must continue to hold firm to the knowing that everything is happening for your highest good. There may still be moments of doubt. There may be times when the old fears and insecurities resurface. But these moments are not to be feared. They are simply remnants of the past that are leaving you. As you move toward your higher self, the old versions of you will fall away, the fears, the doubts, the limiting beliefs. They no longer serve you. They are simply the residue of a life that is no longer aligned with your true desire. When these fears arise, do not meet them with resistance. Acknowledge them. Understand that they are simply the mind's way of clinging to the familiar. But know this, you are not the fears. You are not the doubts. You are not the limitations. You are something far greater. You are a divine being capable of creating the life you desire. And as you remember this truth, the fears begin to lose their power. They begin to fade into the background as the light of your true self shines brighter than ever before. As you embrace this truth, you will notice that the signs you are receiving become even more clear. The messages from the universe become more direct, more frequent. You will find yourself in the right place at the right time, having the right conversations with the right people. Opportunities will begin to flow to you effortlessly. You will find that the world around you begins to mirror your inner state of alignment. What you focus on, you attract. What you believe, you create. And as you embrace this new way of being, you will also realize that your dreams are not just about material success. They are about becoming the fullest expression of who you truly are. The blessings that you are receiving are not just about what you can hold in your hands, but about the person you are becoming in the process. You are shedding the layers of fear, doubt, and insecurity. You are revealing the divine being that has always been within you. The desires you once thought were separate from you are now becoming one with you. You will find that the more you step into this truth, the more you begin to align with the abundant flow of the universe. Everything you need is already here, waiting for you to tap into it. The love, the success, the joy, the peace, they are all within you. And as you align with this truth, the external world will begin to reflect it back to you. What once seemed distant or impossible now becomes your reality. The signs will continue to guide you, they will continue to show you the way, and you will know, without a shadow of a doubt, that the universe is working in your favor. This alignment will also bring with it a deep sense of gratitude. As you witness the unfolding of your desires, you will begin to see the beauty in every moment. You will recognize the divine intelligence behind everything that has happened, everything that is happening, and everything that is yet to come. The ups and downs, the twists and turns were all part of a larger plan. They were all necessary to bring you to this moment, the moment where you are finally ready to receive all that you have been dreaming of. And when you truly understand this, your heart will swell with gratitude. Gratitude for the journey, gratitude for the lessons learned, gratitude for the people who have crossed your path, gratitude for the challenges that shaped you, gratitude for the growth, the transformation, and the miracles that are unfolding in your life. In this state of gratitude, you will find that your life continues to expand in ways that you could never have imagined. You will begin to realize that the manifestation of your desires is not just about what you receive, but about who you become in the process. The journey itself is the gift. It is in the becoming that you find your greatest treasures. And as you continue to grow, you will find that your capacity to receive expands. The more you grow, the more you are able to hold the blessings that the universe has waiting for you. And so, as you stand on the threshold of this new chapter, know that the signs are everywhere. They are guiding you. They are showing you that the time has come for you to receive all that you have been waiting for. You are ready, you are worthy, and the universe is ready to deliver. Keep your heart open, trust the process, let go of the need to control, and watch as your dreams unfold before your very eyes. The universe is calling you to step into the fullness of your power, to embrace the abundance that is your birthright, and to trust that everything is falling into place. And when you look back on this moment, you will see that it was always meant to be. The signs were always there, guiding you, leading you toward the divine manifestation that you are now about to receive. You are on the path of your highest good, and nothing can stop you now. As you continue on this journey, know that you are not alone. Every step you take, every decision you make is in perfect alignment with the divine plan. The signs are all around you, pointing the way, confirming that what you desire is not just a dream, but a reality in the making. The universe, in all its infinite wisdom, is working in your favor, preparing the perfect circumstances for your highest good. Trust in the process, trust in yourself, and most importantly, trust that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. As you open your heart and mind to the abundance that is already yours, you will find that everything you need will be provided. The doors will open, the opportunities will present themselves, and the blessings you've been waiting for will manifest before you. All that you have to do is remain grounded in your faith, keep your eyes open for the signs, and embrace the journey with gratitude and trust. The time has come for you to step fully into your power and receive all that has been promised to you. You are ready to experience the greatness that has always been destined for you. Your desires are already on their way, and as you continue to align with the truth of who you are, nothing will be able to stop the flow of blessings that are about to pour into your life. You are on the verge of something extraordinary. Believe it, trust it, and watch as your life transforms in ways that will leave you in awe. The best is yet to come. Imagine just for a moment that you possess a power so profound, so limitless that it could shape the very fabric of your existence. A power that transcends the physical world, defies logic, and operates on a plane where the impossible becomes possible. This power is not a distant dream or a mystical force reserved for the few. It is a reality that resides within each one of us. It is the power of imagination. Imagination creates reality. This simple yet profound truth has been echoed throughout history by great thinkers, visionaries, and spiritual leaders. It is the cornerstone of Neville Goddard's teachings, where he passionately proclaimed that the human imagination is the divine spark within us, all the creative force that molds our lives and shapes our destinies. Many of us live in a world dictated by external circumstances. We see ourselves as victims of fate, buffeted by the winds of chance, and confined by the limitations of the material world. Yet, what if I told you that the world you perceive, the life you live, is but a reflection of your inner state? What if I told you that the true power to change your life lies not in the hands of others, not in the ebb and flow of fortune, but in your ability to imagine? Imagination is not mere fantasy or idle daydreaming. It is the conscious and deliberate use of the mind to create new realities. It is the ability to envision a desired outcome with such clarity and conviction that it becomes a living, breathing reality within you. And as you dwell in this imagined state, as you feel its truth, it begins to manifest in your physical world. This concept may seem abstract or even far-fetched, but consider this: every great achievement, every invention, every work of art, every monumental change in human history began as a seed of imagination in the mind of someone who dared to believe in the unseen. The skyscrapers that pierce the sky, the technological marvels that connect us, the social movements that reshape societies, all were born from the imagination of individuals who saw beyond what was and envisioned what could be. You too possess this extraordinary power. The question is not whether you are using it, but how you are using it. Are you imagining a life of abundance, joy, and fulfillment, or are you unconsciously imagining a life of lack, limitation, and struggle? The reality you experience is a direct reflection of the thoughts you hold in your mind and the images you consistently entertain in your imagination. The power of imagination is one of the most profound and transformative forces within the human experience. It is the faculty that allows us to transcend the limitations of our immediate reality and envision possibilities beyond the confines of our current circumstances. Imagination is not merely a tool for creativity or a source of entertainment. It is the very foundation upon which all human progress is built. It is through imagination that we conceive of new ideas, innovate, and bring forth creations that have the potential to change the world. When we speak of the power of imagination, we are referring to its ability to shape our perception of reality and in turn influence the outcomes we experience in our lives. Imagination operates on the principle that what we consistently visualize and emotionally invest in will eventually manifest in our physical world. This principle is rooted in the understanding that our thoughts are not passive or inert, they are dynamic and creative. Each thought we hold carries a vibrational frequency that resonates with corresponding elements in the universe, attracting experiences and conditions that align with those thoughts. The power of imagination is evident in every great achievement throughout history. From the grandest architectural marvels to the most groundbreaking technological advancements, every creation first existed as an idea in someone's mind. The Wright brothers, for example, imagined a world where humans could fly long before the first airplane took to the skies. Thomas Edison envisioned a world illuminated by electric light before the light bulb became a reality. These individuals did not merely wish for these outcomes, they actively engaged their imagination to see, feel, and believe in their creations before they materialized. This power is not reserved for the few, it is a universal gift available to all. Whether we are aware of it or not, we are constantly using our imagination to create our reality. The images and scenarios we replay in our minds, the emotions we attach to them, and the beliefs we hold all contribute to the shaping of our experiences. The key to harnessing this power lies in becoming conscious of how we use our imagination. Instead of allowing it to run wild with fear, doubt, or negativity, we can deliberately direct it towards positive and constructive outcomes. By cultivating a disciplined and intentional use of imagination, we can begin to shape our reality in alignment with our deepest desires and aspirations. This process requires faith and persistence, as the results may not be immediate. However, with continued practice, the power of imagination will inevitably bring forth the experiences and opportunities that resonate with our envisioned reality. Imagination serves as the creator.
You will be a millionaire in 1 month. Not because of effort, not because of hustle, not because of anything the world teaches, but because you will awaken to the truth. Imagination creates reality. The moment you accept this as a fact, not as a theory, your life begins to unfold in accordance with your assumptions. The riches you desire, the lifestyle you long for, the security you dream of, they are not out there. They are within you, awaiting your command. And in exactly 1 month, if you dare to assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, you will watch the outer world bend to your inner world. Do not ask how. That is the fatal error. To ask how is to admit that you do not yet believe. The how belongs to God, to the deeper dimension of yourself. Your task is not to figure out the bridge of incidents that will lead to your millions. Your task is to accept the end, live in the end, feel the reality of already having what you want. For that which you accept as true of yourself, though denied by the senses, if persisted in, will harden into fact. So do not look to the newspapers, the bank account, or the outer circumstances. These are the shadows of previous assumptions. They are echoes of the old man, not the new you. The new you is a millionaire now. You must walk as though you already possess what the world says is still to come. You must dine with the wealthy in your imagination. Walk through your mansion in consciousness. See the figures in your bank account as done. Final, unquestioned. I am not speaking poetically. I am speaking literally. Everything in this world is a manifestation of imagination. The house you live in, the clothes you wear, the voice you hear, all came forth from an inner act. Someone imagined it, dared to believe in the invisible, and the visible world conformed. So if you say, I want to be a millionaire, that is not enough. Wanting is the confession of lack. You must say instead, I am a millionaire, not tomorrow, not later, now. Even if the senses say no, even if the bills pile high, even if logic and friends call you mad, you must persist. For God in you is your own wonderful human imagination. It is He who speaks when you dare to believe something grand about yourself. It is He who fulfills when you dare to persist despite appearances. And in exactly 1 month, if you persist, you will see the fruits of your assumption. Consider the story of a man who was down to his last dollar. He had no hope, no job, no prospects. But he heard these truths and began to live as though he were already wealthy. He imagined himself writing checks freely, gifting his family generously, waking up in abundance. He did it so often and with such faith that he could feel the weight of money in his hands. And then one morning, he received a phone call. A forgotten investment had matured, and he was now worth millions. He did nothing in the outer world to make it happen. He simply accepted it as real in his imagination. You see, the law does not care whether the assumption is true or false. It simply reflects what is impressed upon it. You are the operant power. You choose what to believe. And if you will believe that you are already wealthy, that the money is already yours, that every need is met, then you will watch reality reorganize itself to reflect that inner conviction. It must, for the world is a mirror, and it reflects what you are, not what you want. So be the thing you seek, and the thing will come running to you. This is not positive thinking. This is not about making yourself feel good. This is about entering a state of consciousness that matches the result you desire. If you can enter and remain in that state, you will manifest the conditions, people, opportunities, and events that match it. So let us now enter the state of the millionaire. How would you walk? How would you speak? How would you think? You would no longer worry about bills. You would no longer shrink from generosity. You would feel a quiet confidence, a divine satisfaction, a steady knowing. That feeling is the secret. All transformation begins with assumption. The assumption of the feeling of the wish fulfilled is the creative act. It is done in silence, in stillness within. You may do it while lying on your bed, while riding the bus, while waiting in line. And if you do it with sincerity, with intensity, with repetition, the world will conform. You do not need to advertise it. You do not need to convince anyone. You need only convince yourself. For the only God who matters in this equation is the one inside you. He is not far off. He is not in some sky. He is in your imagination, waiting to be awakened. To be a millionaire in 1 month, you must think from the end. Do not think of money. Think from money. Do not imagine getting rich. Imagine already being rich. Hear the conversations people would have with you. See the letters you would write. Feel the joy of having more than enough. Use all your senses. Let your imagination be vivid, detailed, alive. For imagination, when felt as real, is the path to manifestation. You do not imagine to escape reality. You imagine to shape it. Each morning when you rise, close your eyes and feel that it is already done. Each night, before you sleep, review the day as though you lived it as a millionaire. Did you act as one? Did you feel as one? Did you walk as one? If not, revise it. In imagination, rewrite the day. Make it match your desire. And in doing this, you plant the seed. And just as surely as spring follows winter, harvest follows planting. The money must come. It must. You will notice subtle changes at first. People will treat you differently. Ideas will flash. Opportunities will knock. You will feel an inner certainty that cannot be shaken. And even if you do not yet see the dollars, you will know they are near. You will feel them forming, like clouds gathering before the rain. Do not dismiss these signs. They are not coincidences. They are evidence that your assumption is taking root. Water it with faith. Do not dig it up with doubt. Trust the process. If you should falter, if fear arises, return at once to the state. Close your eyes and enter again. See the money. Feel the joy. Hear the thank yous. And do this as often as needed. For repetition impresses the subconscious. And once the subconscious accepts it, the outer world must follow. You are not trying to force reality. You are allowing it to become what you have already accepted within. A woman once told me she followed this process and was led to buy a lottery ticket she would have never considered. She did not pick the numbers logically. She simply felt inspired. And when she scratched the ticket, she found herself suddenly in possession of 6 figures. She was not surprised. She had already received it within. The ticket was merely the bridge. And she knew that if she could do it once, she could do it again. The key is feeling. Without feeling, imagination is sterile. But with feeling it is divine. So do not imagine mechanically. Do not repeat empty affirmations. Feel your way into the scene. Dwell in it. Savor it. Let it saturate your being. Let it be more real than what your eyes see. For what your eyes see is temporary. But what you imagine with feeling is eternal and creative. In 1 month, if you will live in the end, assume the reality of wealth, and remain faithful, the millions will come. Whether through a sudden opportunity, a gift, a forgotten investment, a new business, or a miracle beyond reason. It does not matter. The method is not your concern. The assumption is your power. Hold to it. Refuse to waver. No matter what the world says, you know the truth. Imagination creates reality. So I ask you now, will you dare to believe? Will you cast off the old man, the man of doubt, fear, lack, and put on the new man, the man of riches, peace, and power? Will you persist even when the world laughs, even when the senses say no? If so, then in 1 month's time, your outer life will mirror your inner conviction. You are not waiting on money. Money is waiting on you. It is waiting on your consciousness to match its frequency. It is waiting on your self-concept to rise. It is waiting on your assumption to be stable. So become now the person who has it. Think as they think. Feel as they feel. Live as they live. Do it boldly. Do it faithfully. Do it joyfully. The law is no respecter of persons. It responds not to virtue, but to vision. Not to effort, but to assumption. So let the world toil and strive, while you enter your inner chamber and commune with the infinite. Imagine boldly, assume lavishly, and persist until the unseen becomes seen. For it must. You are already that which you seek. You simply have not accepted it yet. Accept it now. Accept that you are rich. Accept that you are powerful. Accept that you are the operant power. And then walk in that assumption. For to him who has, more shall be given. And to him who dares, the world bows low. Let this month be your demonstration. Let this month be your proof. Every morning, every night, return to the state. Live in the end. Revise the day. Saturate your mind with images of wealth, sounds of joy, feelings of luxury, and then release it. Walk in peace. Act as though it were already so. And soon it will be. You will be a millionaire in 1 month. Not because of luck, not because of hard work, but because you dared to believe. You dared to imagine and persist. You dared to live in the end. And because of that, the world, this seemingly solid world, will melt and reshape itself to match your inner world. It always does. It always has. Now it's your turn to see it. You must not stop now. The inner work is the true work. And every moment you spend dwelling in the assumption of wealth is a moment charged with creative power. As you repeat this state throughout the day, you will feel a transformation happening within. What once felt like fantasy will begin to feel natural. And when it feels natural, it is done. For nothing comes into your life until it becomes a part of your inner structure. You cannot receive what you do not first accept. So you must begin to see yourself differently. Speak of yourself as already possessing abundance. Do not say, I will have it. Say, I have it now. Do not think of it as coming. Think of it as arrived. This inner shift is not imaginary, in the sense that the world uses the word. It is the only real act. The outer world, though it seems so solid, is nothing more than the condensation of your inner speech and feeling. Watch what you say to yourself. Watch what you accept without questioning. If you tell yourself that becoming a millionaire in 1 month is impossible, then it is for you. But if you begin to say, this is easy, this is natural, it is already done, then the universe will echo that belief. There are no accidents in this world. There is only the outpicturing of states. Your present reality, whether rich or poor, is nothing but the shadow cast by your past assumptions. But the moment you change your assumption, the shadow must change. It cannot resist. It has no power of its own. It only reflects. So if you are not yet seeing evidence of your wealth, do not panic. Do not revert to the old man. Instead, smile and say, it is on its way. It is already mine. The shadow is still catching up. Your job is not to worry about timing, mechanics, or details. Your job is to dwell in the state of already having. And this must be done with feeling. You may not know exactly how it feels to be a millionaire right now, but you can begin. Use your imagination to construct the scenes, the conversations, the small details. How would it feel to pay every bill without a second thought? How would it feel to treat your loved ones to something extravagant? How would it feel to wake up with the knowing that you never again have to worry about money? Let these scenes play in your mind like a sacred movie. Watch them again and again, and do not just watch. Feel them. Let them stir you. Let them impress you. Let them become more real to you than your current bank balance. For the truth is, your current balance is only real because you have continued to give it your attention. Shift your attention, and you shift your world. When you begin to live from the end, the outer world becomes irrelevant. You will no longer look to circumstances to tell you who you are. You will look within, and what you feel yourself to be within, the world will soon reflect. You will notice coincidences that are not coincidences at all. A person will appear with an offer. An old contact will call. A new idea will light up your mind. But these are not the source. They are the effect. The source is your assumption. You are not at the mercy of economics, governments, or fate. You are at the mercy of your own imagination. But once you realize that, you are no longer at mercy. You are in control. This is the great secret, hidden in plain sight. The world will tell you that you must work harder, network more, struggle, and compete. But I tell you, all that is vanity, if it is not rooted in imagination. You may gain the world and lose your soul, but if you gain your imagination, the world is yours without struggle. So if today you sit in a small room, without wealth, without proof, do not despair. That is the perfect place to begin. In fact, it is better, for the world cannot distract you with shiny things. Close your eyes and go within. Begin to feel the room change. See yourself in a place of elegance. Hear the sounds of luxury. Smell the scent of wealth. Let the imagined experience become realer than the one before your eyes. And as you do this, your inner state will change. And when the inner state changes, the outer must follow. You may begin to walk differently. You may speak with more certainty. You may smile for no reason. This is not delusion. This is creation. You are becoming the one who has. You are shedding the skin of the one who hoped and becoming the one who knows. The world may not understand, but it does not need to. It only needs to respond. And it always responds to the one who feels himself already in possession of the goal. In the quiet moments of the day, remind yourself it is done. Not it will be done, but it is done. The million is yours now. You are already living from it. You are already receiving from it. You are already enjoying it. Let that be your new inner conversation. Let it repeat like a song in your soul. You will be tempted to look around and measure your progress, but resist. Faith does not consult appearances. Faith remains steady. And when faith is steady, reality bends. The world is not happening to you. You are happening to the world. As you imagine, as you assume, as you persist, the world reforms itself. It may seem slow at first, but that is only because old assumptions still linger. Be patient, be bold, be consistent. This is not magic, though it may appear so to the uninitiated. This is law, divine law, immutable, precise, and utterly obedient. The riches are not somewhere out there. They are not hidden in a vault, waiting for a stroke of luck. They are here now, waiting for you to rise to their frequency. That frequency is belief. That frequency is assumption. That frequency is the feeling of already being. So ask yourself, not what do I want, but who must I be to already have it, and then become that person. Speak as them, think as them, walk as them. If you find doubt creeping in, do not wrestle with it. Simply return to the state. Let the scene of the fulfilled desire play again. Let the feeling of the fulfilled state return. You do not destroy doubt by fighting it. You dissolve it by starving it. You starve it by feasting on the assumption of the wish fulfilled. All power is in the present assumption, not tomorrow, not next week. Now, this is your power. This is your moment. In this very moment, you may assume that you are the millionaire you desire to be. And if you will remain faithful to that assumption, the world must show it to you. It must. For imagination creates reality. And imagination is always now. So will you dare to imagine the life you desire and live from it without apology, without doubt, without delay? Will you persist when the senses say otherwise? Will you continue when the world offers no confirmation? For if you will, then the world must eventually conform. Do not underestimate the silence in which this work is done. You may not speak it aloud. You may tell no one. Yet in the secret place of consciousness, you are reshaping the very nature of your experience. Each assumption carries with it its own pattern of life, its own quality of events, its own tone. When you assume you are wealthy, the world around you begins to organize itself in alignment with that wealth. It draws to you the people who match that vibration. It reveals to you paths that were hidden from the eyes of the man who believed in poverty. But to the man who assumes wealth, the road appears. Now is the time to discipline the inner speech. You cannot speak lack and live abundance. You cannot grumble about bills and expect freedom. The law is not mocked. It gives you what you continually affirm within. So train your inner conversation to reflect your desired outcome. Speak within, as though you are already rich. Say, I always have more than enough. Say, money flows to me in endless ways. Say, everything I touch prospers. Do not say these things like a parrot. Say them with conviction, with feeling, until they move you, until they feel like the only truth. You do not manifest what you occasionally feel. You manifest what you consistently assume. So keep assuming. Keep returning to the feeling. When you feel tempted to check the bank balance or count the days, remember that all of that belongs to the old man. The new man walks by faith. The new man smiles, knowing it is already done. This is not denial of the senses. This is the recreation of the senses. For the senses only report what you told them to report by past beliefs. If you change the root, the fruit must change. The outer is never cause. It is always effect. Begin to delight in your imagination. Make it a playground. Do not treat it as a chore. Let it be your retreat, your sanctuary. Feel the thrill of it. Let it surprise you. Walk into imagined rooms dripping with opulence. Hear the compliments of those who admire your success. Receive the gratitude of those you've blessed. Let the scenes flow, not with strain, but with pleasure. This is how you loosen the grip of the old world. You do not fight it. You outgrow it. You move beyond it through joyful assumption. Do not concern yourself with the opinions of others. They live in their own dream, and they are free to assume what they will. But their assumptions cannot affect your world unless you accept them. You must become ruthless with the mind. When it offers thoughts of fear or limitation, you must say, that is not my truth, and return to the truth you have chosen. I am wealthy. I am free. I am abundant now. You must say it and feel it, until it becomes automatic, until it becomes your nature. Watch the quiet transformation that unfolds. You will begin to attract conversations about opportunity. You will begin to notice doors opening that were once locked. You may even receive sudden gifts, refunds, increases. Do not call them coincidences. They are reflections of your inner shift. The world must mirror the image you have painted within. It cannot resist it, for it has no choice but to echo the reality you have assumed. Each day, do not ask, where is it? Instead, say, it is here now, and then act as though it is. Even in the small things, how you dress, how you carry yourself, how you give. You may not be able to do what a millionaire does in the outer world yet, but you can feel what he feels. You can imagine what he imagines. You can think as he thinks, and that is the seed that brings the fruit. Let your mind dwell on the truth that all things already exist. The $1 million you desire already exists. It is not being created. It is already finished in the realm of the unseen. You are simply aligning with it, and that alignment is not about hard work or moral worth. It is about state. State is everything. When you enter the state of the man who has all things necessary to that state will find their way to you. So do not focus on the details. Focus only on being. Let yourself become the version of you who already has. If ever you feel resistance, use revision. Take a moment and rewrite the scene that troubled you. Did someone reject your offer? In imagination, let them accept it. Did you receive an unexpected expense? In imagination, turn it into a check received. Use revision not as fantasy, but as correction. You are the author of your world. You do not need to accept what the world hands you. You can rewrite it at will. And as you do, you will find the world begins to yield more favorable scenes in the days that follow. Imagination is not secondary to life. It is life itself. You imagined yourself into your current experience, whether knowingly or unknowingly. And now you will imagine your way into wealth. You will no longer beg or plead or strive. You will assume and allow. That is the way of the master. That is the way of the awakened. You are not here to struggle. You are here to create. And you create not with effort, but with feeling. As you move through these days, watch what you are imagining. Do not let the mind wander aimlessly. Guide it gently, persistently, toward your chosen end. You are not a leaf in the wind. You are the wind itself, and what you blow upon will take form. So direct that wind wisely. Direct it lovingly. Direct it toward wealth, not for the sake of greed, but for the sake of freedom, joy and contribution. The more real it feels within, the faster it appears without. So make it real now. Close your eyes and step into the scene. Hear your own voice say, I did it. I'm free. Feel the relief, the power, the joy. Hear your loved ones celebrate you. Let that scene be more real than any memory. Let it become your new memory. For in the world of imagination, all time is now, and what you imagine now becomes what you remember later. In conclusion, understand this simple yet profound truth. You are the master of your reality. The world you see is but the reflection of your inner state. If you can boldly and unwaveringly assume the feeling of already being a millionaire, then the outer world must conform to that assumption. The wealth you desire is not far away. It exists now, waiting for you to awaken to it. You are not bound by time, circumstances, or the opinions of others. You are the creator of your experience, and the moment you choose to live from the end of your desire, everything in your life must follow suit. Remember, the law of assumption is as certain as any law in nature. It cannot fail. What you persistently imagine with feeling, what you believe with certainty, must appear in your world. You are the architect of your future, and in the next 30 days, if you remain true to your assumption, if you walk, speak, and think as though you are already the millionaire you wish to be, the world will yield to you exactly what you have assumed. Do not let doubt, fear, or the appearance of your current circumstances sway you. Keep your focus on the truth that it is already done. You are already in possession of your wealth. The universe cannot resist the power of your assumption. Step into this truth with confidence, and watch the world bend to your will. The power is within you. The world will follow your lead. You will be a millionaire in 1 month, not because it is an impossible feat, but because you have chosen to assume it. And the world in all its mystery must mirror that assumption. Trust in this law. Trust in your own power, and above all, trust that what is yours is already on its way to you. Now go forward in this knowledge, knowing that you are not waiting for wealth to come to you. You are already living in it. And as you walk this path, remember, the moment you truly believe, the world will make way for your reality to manifest.
Most people approach their desires like a man trying to push a river upstream. They exert tremendous effort. They exhaust themselves in futile struggle. And then they wonder why their dreams remain elusive. But I tell you tonight, the river of creation flows naturally toward your good when you align yourself with its current. The moment you cease to resist, the moment you truly relax into the knowing of your wish fulfilled, that very moment the entire universe conspires to bring your desire into manifestation. Let me share with you what I mean by relaxation in its truest sense. I do not speak of mere physical relaxation, though that has its place. I speak of that deep, profound relaxation of the mind that comes when you stop trying to figure out how your desire will come to pass. I speak of the relaxation that comes when you stop monitoring the outer world for signs of change. I speak of the relaxation that emerges when you finally understand that creation is finished, that everything you could ever want already exists in the invisible realm of imagination, waiting only for your recognition and acceptance. When I was a young man in Barbados, I had a burning desire to come to America. Like most people, I began by trying to find a way. I searched for opportunities. I made plans. I worried about money and visas, and all the seeming obstacles that stood between me and my dream. The harder I tried, the more elusive the path became. Then one day, an old man in my village shared with me a truth that changed everything. He said, Neville, stop trying to go to America, and instead go to America in your imagination. Live there, feel yourself there, make it so real that your physical senses cannot distinguish between your imaginal experience and physical reality. That night, I did exactly as he suggested. I imagined myself in New York City. I felt the excitement of walking down Broadway. I smelled the autumn air. I heard the sounds of the great metropolis.
I felt the satisfaction of having achieved my dream. But here is the crucial point. I did not imagine these things with strain or effort. I simply relaxed into the experience, allowed myself to be there completely. And then I fell asleep in that beautiful assumption. Within months, through a series of events that seemed miraculous at the time, but which I now understand to be the natural unfolding of an imaginal act, I found myself living in New York City. This is what I mean when I say relax and allow. You do not create your good through force. You do not manifest your desires through struggle. You create through the gentle, natural assumption of the state of your wish fulfilled, and then you allow that assumption to harden into fact through repetition and faith. But let me address something that troubles many of you. You say, Neville, my desire seems impossible. The doctors have given their verdict. The bank account shows zero. The person I love is married to another. How can I relax when everything in my world contradicts my desire? My friends, this is precisely when relaxation becomes most important, for it is in the face of seeming impossibility that the power of imagination shines brightest. I want you to understand something fundamental about the nature of reality. What you call the impossible is only impossible from the limited perspective of your current state of consciousness, from the perspective of God. And I remind you that God and human imagination are one. Nothing is impossible. The same power that spoke life into existence, that formed the worlds, that raised the dead, that power dwells in you as your very imagination. When you align with this power, through relaxed assumption, even the impossible becomes inevitable. I remember a woman who came to me many years ago. She was well past the age when doctors said she could conceive a child. Yet she desired nothing more than to become a mother. The medical profession had pronounced their verdict impossible. Her family had tried to console her, impossible. Society had its opinion, impossible. But I asked her a simple question, can you imagine yourself holding your own baby in your arms? She said yes. I told her, then every night as you fall asleep, hold that baby, feel its weight in your arms, smell its sweet scent, hear its gentle breathing, make it so real that you can feel its tiny heartbeat against your chest. And do this not with strain, not with desperation, but with the gentle knowing that this is already yours in the realm of imagination. She followed this instruction faithfully. And I want you to note something important. She did not struggle to make it happen. She did not exhaust herself trying to conceive. She simply relaxed into the beautiful assumption that she was already a mother and allowed that assumption to saturate her consciousness. Within the year, she held her healthy baby in her arms. And the same doctors who had pronounced it impossible were calling it a miracle. But here is what I want you to understand. It was not a miracle in the sense of something supernatural occurring. It was the perfectly natural result of living from the end, of assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled, and of relaxing into that assumption until it became her dominant state of consciousness. This brings me to a crucial point about allowance. When I say allow, I do not mean passive waiting. I do not mean sitting idle hoping something will happen. True allowance is an active state of consciousness. It is the state in which you have so completely assumed your desire fulfilled that you are allowing it to manifest in ways that may surprise and delight you, in ways that your limited human reasoning could never have devised. Most people fail in their manifestations because they not only want their desire, they want it to come in a specific way. They want the promotion, but only if it comes through their current company. They want the money, but only if it comes through their present job. They want the relationship, but only if it unfolds according to their predetermined script. My friends, this is not allowance. This is limitation. This is trying to be God's advisor, telling infinite intelligence how to arrange the circumstances of your good. True allowance means that you assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled, and then you stay alert and receptive to the ways in which it may manifest. You do not limit the channels through which your good may come. You do not insist that it happen in any particular way or through any specific person. You simply live in the consciousness of having it, and you allow the creative medium of imagination to bring it into being through whatever means serve your highest good. I once knew a man who desired to own a beautiful home by the sea. He had a very specific house in mind, one he had seen advertised but could never afford. Night after night he would imagine himself in that exact house, but always with the underlying worry about how he could possibly obtain it. He was trying to be both the one who imagines and the one who figures out how the imagination will be fulfilled. This divided consciousness kept his desire at bay. One day, I suggested to him that he change his approach. Instead of imagining that specific house, I advised him to imagine the feeling of living by the sea in a beautiful home. I told him to feel the ocean breeze, to hear the waves, to smell the salt air, to feel the deep satisfaction of owning such a home, but to release all concern about which house it would be or how it would come to him. I told him to relax completely into the feeling and to allow infinite intelligence to select the perfect home and arrange the perfect means of acquisition. Within 3 months, he inherited a magnificent seaside property from a relative he barely knew, a relative who had remembered him in her will after meeting him just once at a family gathering years earlier. The house was far more beautiful than the one he had originally desired, and it came to him free and clear. This is the power of relaxation and allowance working together. Now let me address the doubts that are arising in some of your minds. You are thinking, but Neville, what if I relax and allow and nothing happens? What if I imagine faithfully and my desire never manifests? My friends, this question reveals a fundamental misunderstanding of the law. The law of assumption is not a bargain you make with the universe. It is not a technique you perform in exchange for your desires. It is a law as reliable and consistent as the law of gravity. When you drop an object, you do not wonder if it will fall. You know it will fall because you understand the law of gravity. In the same way, when you assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled and persist in that assumption, you should know with the same certainty that it must manifest because you understand the law of assumption. The question is not whether it will manifest. The question is only when and how, and these details are not your concern. Your only concern is to maintain the feeling of having your desire until it hardens into fact. But I understand your impatience. I understand that when you desire something deeply, waiting can feel unbearable. This is why relaxation is so crucial. When you are truly relaxed in your assumption, waiting does not feel like waiting. It feels like natural expectation, like the natural confidence that comes after you have planted a seed. And you know it will grow. You do not dig up the seed every day to check its progress. You water it, you give it sunlight, and you trust the natural process of growth. Your imaginal act is like planting a seed in the soil of consciousness. Once planted through assumption, once watered through repetition, once warmed by the sun of faith, it must grow. It must manifest. This is law, not hope. But just as you would not constantly disturb a growing seed, you must not constantly disturb your assumption with doubt, with impatience, with looking for signs in the outer world. This brings me to perhaps the most important aspect of relaxation in manifestation, the relaxation of your grip on the outer world as your source of evidence. Most people live in a state of constant reaction to their circumstances. If the bank account is low, they feel poor. If the body shows symptoms, they feel sick. If the person they love is absent, they feel unloved. They are allowing the outer world to dictate their inner state. And this is precisely backwards. The outer world is not the cause of your experience. It is the effect. It is the shadow cast by your consciousness, the reflection of your dominant assumptions, the crystallization of your habitual thoughts and feelings. When you understand this, you realize that trying to change the outer world without first changing consciousness is like trying to change your reflection in the mirror without changing yourself. It cannot be done. True relaxation comes when you stop giving power to circumstances and start giving power to imagination. It comes when you stop reacting to what is and start responding from what you want to be. It comes when you realize that no matter what appears in your world, you have the power to assume something different, and through that assumption to change what appears. I remember a man who came to me completely despondent about his financial situation. He had lost his job. His savings were depleted, and creditors were demanding payment. Everything in his outer world was screaming poverty, limitation, and failure.
He wanted to know how he could possibly relax and assume abundance when every circumstance contradicted such an assumption. I explained to him that this was exactly when assumption becomes most powerful. I told him that anyone can assume abundance when their bank account is full. That requires no faith, no imagination, no understanding of the law. But to assume abundance in the face of apparent poverty, to feel wealthy when the outer world suggests otherwise, this is to exercise the godlike power of imagination that can transform any situation. I instructed him to completely ignore his circumstances for a period of time each day. During his imaginal sessions, he was to feel himself as a wealthy man, not trying to become wealthy, not hoping to become wealthy, but actually feeling wealthy right now. I told him to imagine his bank account filled with money, to feel the security and freedom that wealth provides, to assume the confidence and generosity of a truly wealthy man. But here is the key. I told him to do this with complete relaxation, without strain, without desperation. I told him to enter into these imaginings as easily as he would enter into a daydream, to make them feel natural and normal, to relax into the role of a wealthy man as easily as an actor relaxing into a character. Within weeks, opportunities began to appear. Not just one opportunity, but multiple streams of abundance that flowed into his experience with increasing momentum. A business partnership that had seemed dead was suddenly revived. An old investment that he had written off unexpectedly paid dividends. A skill he possessed but had never monetized suddenly found a lucrative market. Within months, he had not only recovered his former position, but had exceeded it many times over. The key was relaxation. Had he approached his imaginal work with desperation, with need, with the energy of lack, he would have perpetuated his experience of poverty. But because he relaxed into the feeling of abundance, because he allowed himself to truly feel wealthy without strain or effort, he impressed his subconscious mind with the conviction of abundance, and his outer world had no choice but to conform. This is why I emphasize again and again the importance of feeling in manifestation. You do not manifest what you think about. You manifest what you feel to be true. And true feeling cannot be forced. It must be allowed. It must be entered into with the same naturalness with which you enter into any state of being. Think about it this way: when you are happy, you do not have to try to be happy. Happiness is simply your natural state in that moment. When you are confident, you do not have to work at being confident. Confidence is simply how you feel. In the same way, when you assume your wish fulfilled, you should not have to work at feeling fulfilled. The feeling should arise naturally from your assumption, and you should relax into it as easily as you relax into any natural feeling. But what happens when the feeling does not come easily? What happens when you try to assume your wish fulfilled, but you feel nothing, or worse, you feel the opposite of what you are trying to assume? This is where most people give up, thinking they are not capable of manifestation. But I tell you, this is simply a matter of practice and persistence, combined with deep relaxation. You see, your current feelings are the result of long-established habits of thought and assumption. You have trained yourself to feel a certain way in response to certain circumstances. You have practiced certain emotional states until they have become automatic. To change these habitual responses requires the same gentle persistence with which you would train a child or develop any new skill. If you have been in the habit of feeling poor, you cannot expect to assume abundance and immediately feel wealthy. If you have been in the habit of feeling unloved, you cannot expect to assume love and immediately feel cherished. But you can begin to practice these new feelings in your imagination, gently and without force, allowing them to grow stronger through repetition. Here's a technique that I have found invaluable for developing the feeling of your wish fulfilled when it does not come naturally. Instead of trying to feel the whole of your desire at once, begin with just a fragment of the feeling. If you want to feel wealthy but can only access a small sense of security, work with that small sense. If you want to feel love but can only access a moment of appreciation, work with that moment. Take that small, genuine feeling and gently expand it. Not through force, not through effort, but through relaxation and allowance. Imagine that feeling growing naturally like a flower opening to the sun. Allow it to fill you gradually, without rush, without strain. This gentle approach honors the natural rhythm of consciousness and allows new feelings to establish themselves without resistance from the old patterns. I knew a woman who had been alone for many years and deeply desired a loving relationship. Every time she tried to imagine herself loved, she would immediately feel the contradiction of her aloneness and become discouraged. I suggested that instead of trying to imagine a complete relationship, she begin by simply imagining a moment of genuine affection, perhaps remembering a time when she felt truly appreciated, or imagining a simple act of kindness directed toward her. Starting with just that small, authentic feeling of being cared for, she would relax into it and allow it to expand naturally. Day by day, she built upon this foundation, adding layers of feeling, security, companionship, joy, deep love, but always building from genuine feeling rather than trying to force an emotional state that felt foreign to her consciousness. Through this gentle, relaxed approach, she gradually established a new baseline of feeling loved and loving. And as her inner state changed, her outer world began to reflect this change. She became more attractive to others, more open to connection, more confident in social situations. Within a year, she was in a beautiful, loving relationship that exceeded even her original dreams. The key was that she allowed the feeling to develop naturally rather than trying to force it into being. She worked with her consciousness rather than against it, building new patterns of assumption on a foundation of authentic feeling rather than trying to impose alien emotions upon herself. This brings me to another crucial aspect of allowance, allowing yourself to be imperfect in your practice. So many people abandon their efforts at manifestation because they cannot maintain their desired state consistently. They assume their wish fulfilled for a few hours or days, then doubt creeps in, or old habits reassert themselves, and they conclude that they are failures at manifestation. My friends, consciousness is not a light switch that you turn on once and leave illuminated forever. Consciousness is more like a muscle that grows stronger through use, a skill that develops through practice, a garden that flourishes through consistent tending. You would not plant a garden and then abandon it because the weeds grew back after your first day of cultivation. You would patiently return, again and again, removing the weeds and nurturing the desired plants until they grew strong enough to flourish on their own. Your new assumptions are like tender young plants in the garden of consciousness. They need time to develop strong roots. They need repeated attention and care. They need protection from the weeds of doubt and the storms of contradiction. But with patient, relaxed persistence, they will grow strong and eventually dominate your consciousness so completely that the old, unwanted patterns can find no soil in which to grow. I want you to understand that every time you return to your desired assumption, even after periods of doubt or reversal, you are strengthening it. Every time you choose to feel your wish fulfilled, even when circumstances suggest otherwise, you are impressing your subconscious mind more deeply. Every time you relax into the state of having your desire, you are making that state more natural, more normal, more automatic. Do not be discouraged by temporary lapses. Do not judge yourself for moments of doubt. These are natural parts of the process of consciousness transformation. Instead, gently return to your assumption, relax into it once again, and allow it to grow stronger through your persistence. I am reminded of a young man who desperately wanted to become a successful musician, but was constantly plagued by doubts about his ability. He would practice his assumption of success for several days, feeling confident and accomplished, but then he would hear another musician's performance and immediately sink into feelings of inadequacy and impossibility. For months, this cycle continued: assumption, doubt, discouragement, then a return to assumption. He came to me wondering if he should give up, thinking that his inability to maintain consistent faith meant he was not meant to succeed. I explained to him that this fluctuation was not a sign of failure, but a sign of growth, like the growing pains that accompany physical development. I told him that each time he returned to his assumption of success, despite the doubts, he was actually strengthening his faith muscle. Each time he chose to feel successful, despite evidence to the contrary, he was impressing his subconscious mind more deeply with the pattern of success. The doubts were not obstacles to his manifestation. They were opportunities to demonstrate his commitment to his new identity. I advised him to be gentle with himself during the doubtful periods, to not fight the doubts, but simply to not feed them with attention. Instead, when doubts arose, he should relax and gently return to his assumption, the way a parent might gently redirect a wandering child without anger or frustration. This approach transformed his entire experience. Instead of seeing his doubts as evidence of dividend, he began to see them as opportunities for practice. Instead of being discouraged by his fluctuations, he became patient with his process. And this relaxed, accepting attitude actually accelerated his progress. Within 2 years, he was performing professionally, earning substantial income from his music, and living the successful artistic life he had imagined. The relaxation I speak of extends beyond your relationship with your desires to your relationship with the process itself. You must relax your grip on how quickly things should happen, on what signs you should see, on what form your manifestation should take. You must allow the infinite intelligence within you to orchestrate the perfect unfolding of your good in the perfect timing and in the perfect way. I often think of manifestation like pregnancy. When a woman conceives, she does not wake up each morning wondering if she's still pregnant. She does not demand daily evidence of the baby's growth. She trusts the natural process. She cares for herself and the developing child, and she allows the pregnancy to unfold in its natural timing. She may experience moments of concern or impatience, but overall she rests in the confidence that birth will come at the right time. Your imaginal conception should be approached with the same natural confidence. Once you have impressed your subconscious mind with your desire, once you have felt it real and allowed that reality to take root in consciousness, you can trust the process of manifestation as completely as a mother trusts the process of birth. This does not mean you become passive or indifferent. The pregnant mother takes care of her health, prepares for the birth, and maintains her excitement about meeting her child. Similarly, you continue to assume your wish fulfilled, you remain alert to opportunities and inspirations, and you maintain your enthusiasm for your desire. But you do this from a place of confidence and expectation rather than from worry and doubt. There's a difference between working toward your manifestation and working from your manifestation. When you work toward your desire, you are acknowledging that you do not have it, that it is separate from you, that you must somehow bridge the gap between where you are and where you want to be. This approach, no matter how much effort you apply, reinforces the experience of not having what you want. But when you work from your manifestation, you are acting from the assumption that you already have what you desire. You are not trying to get something, you are expressing something you already are. You are not reaching for a distant goal. You are living from a present reality. This approach aligns you with the creative flow and allows manifestation to occur naturally and joyfully. Let me give you a practical example. Suppose you desire financial abundance. Working toward abundance might involve anxiously searching for better paying jobs, desperately trying various money-making schemes, constantly worrying about bills, and feeling stressed about your financial situation. All of these activities, no matter how logical they might seem, are coming from the consciousness of lack and will therefore perpetuate the experience of lack. Working from abundance, on the other hand, involves first assuming the feeling of being abundant and then taking any actions from that state of consciousness. You might still look for better employment, but you would do so from confidence rather than desperation. You might still manage your money carefully, but from wisdom rather than fear. You might still work hard, but from joy and purpose rather than anxiety and need. The same actions taken from these different states of consciousness produce completely different results. Actions taken from lack reinforce lack. Actions taken from abundance multiply abundance. This is why your state of consciousness is infinitely more important than your circumstances or your activities. When you truly understand this principle, you realize that manifestation is not about changing what you do. It is about changing who you are being while you do it. It is not about finding the right technique or the perfect method. It is about discovering the right feeling and learning to live from that feeling consistently. This is where deep relaxation becomes essential. You cannot force yourself to feel abundant if you are anxiously focused on your lack. You cannot generate genuine confidence through willpower if you are constantly monitoring your fears. You cannot assume success if you are tightly gripping your current limitations. These new states of being must be entered into with the same ease and naturalness with which you enter into any experience. Think about how you feel when you are deeply relaxed, perhaps floating in warm water or lying in a comfortable bed on a lazy morning. There is no strain, no effort, no resistance. You simply allow yourself to be held and supported. You trust the water to buoy you up, or the bed to support you. You do not have to work at floating or resting, you simply allow it to happen. This is the quality of consciousness I want you to bring to your assumptions. Allow yourself to be held and supported by the truth of your fulfilled desire. Trust the infinite intelligence within you to manifest your good just as you trust the water to support your body. Do not work at feeling fulfilled. Simply allow the feeling to carry you the way water carries a relaxed swimmer. But I know that some of you are thinking, Neville, this sounds beautiful, but my problems are real. My debt is real. My illness is real. My loneliness is real. How can I relax when these conditions are pressing upon me every day? My friends, I do not minimize your challenges, but I want you to understand something that will transform your relationship with every difficulty. What you call real is only real from the perspective of your current level of consciousness. From a higher level of consciousness, these problems are not ultimate realities. They are simply current manifestations of past thoughts and assumptions, and they can be changed as surely as they were created. When you stand at the foot of a mountain, the mountain appears immovable, permanent, overwhelming. But when you rise above it in an airplane, you see that the mountain is just one small feature in a vast landscape. It has not disappeared, but your perspective has changed so dramatically that its significance in your experience has been completely transformed. Your problems are like that mountain. From the perspective of your current consciousness, they may seem permanent and immovable. But when you rise to the consciousness of your wish fulfilled, when you assume the feeling of having overcome these challenges, you gain a perspective from which solutions appear, paths open, and what seemed impossible becomes inevitable. I once worked with a woman who had been diagnosed with serious illness that her doctors declared incurable. She came to me not asking for healing. She had tried everything the medical profession could offer, but asking for peace in her final months. She wanted to know how to accept what could not be changed. I told her that there was nothing she needed to accept except the truth that she was the creator of experience and therefore had the power to change it. I explained that her illness, however real it appeared, was the manifestation of past states of consciousness, and that new states of consciousness could manifest new conditions in her body. But here is what I want you to understand about her approach. She did not fight her illness with anger or desperation. She did not strain to overcome it through force of will. Instead, she relaxed completely into the assumption of perfect health. Every day she would spend time imagining herself completely well, feeling strong and vital, engaging in activities that her current condition prevented. But she did this with the same gentle ease with which one might recall a pleasant memory. She did not try to convince herself that she was well when her body suggested otherwise. Instead, she simply allowed herself to experience perfect health in her imagination, to feel grateful for her vitality, to assume the natural confidence of a healthy person. She relaxed into this experience so completely that it became more real to her than her physical symptoms. Within months, her doctors were amazed to find that her condition had not only stabilized but had begun to reverse. Within a year, she was declared completely free of the disease. The same doctors who had given her months to live were calling her recovery miraculous. But she understood that it was simply the natural result of changing her consciousness and allowing that change to manifest in her body. The key was her relaxed approach. Had she tried to force healing, had she battled her illness with stress and strain, she would have actually reinforced the very consciousness that had created it. But by relaxing into the assumption of health, by allowing herself to feel well without fighting what appeared to be, she created the inner conditions necessary for physical transformation. This same principle applies to every challenge you face. Financial problems are not overcome by anxiously chasing money, but by relaxing into the consciousness of abundance. Relationship difficulties are not solved by desperately trying to change others, but by assuming the feeling of being loved and loving. Career obstacles are not conquered by frantically searching for opportunities, but by dwelling in the confidence of success and allowing opportunities to find you. In every case, the solution comes not through force, but through relaxation. Not through struggle, but through assumption, not through working against what is, but through living from what you desire to be. Now I want to address something that prevents many people from experiencing this relaxed state of assumption, the belief that relaxation equals inaction, that if they truly let go and allow, nothing will happen. They fear that relaxation will make them passive, unmotivated, or lazy. This is a fundamental misunderstanding of the creative process. True relaxation in consciousness actually increases your effectiveness in action. When you are tense, worried, and struggling, you waste enormous amounts of energy in resistance and anxiety. Your actions become forced and inefficient. You make decisions from fear rather than wisdom. You push against life rather than flowing with it. But when you are relaxed in your assumption, when you are confident in your desired outcome, your actions become inspired and effortless. You move with purpose rather than desperation. You make decisions from clarity rather than confusion. You work with life rather than against it. Opportunities that were invisible to your tense, worried consciousness become obvious to your relaxed, confident consciousness. I think of a businessman I once knew who was struggling to save his failing company. He was working 18-hour days, making frantic phone calls, desperately trying one scheme after another. The harder he worked, the worse things became. His tension and desperation were actually repelling the very solutions he needed. I suggested that he completely change his approach. Instead of working from the consciousness of a failing businessman, I advised him to assume the consciousness of a successful entrepreneur. I told him to spend time each day imagining his business thriving, feeling the satisfaction of success, experiencing the confidence and vision of a truly successful leader. Initially, he resisted this advice. He felt that any time not spent frantically trying to save his business was time wasted. But his current approach was clearly not working. So he agreed to try something different. As he began to relax into the assumption of success, something remarkable happened. His decision-making improved dramatically. He began to see solutions that had been invisible when he was operating from panic. He became more attractive to potential investors and partners. His employees responded to his newfound confidence with increased motivation and creativity. Most importantly, he began to work smarter rather than harder. The inspired actions that arose from his assumed success were far more effective than all his previous desperate efforts. Within 6 months, his business had not only recovered, but was more profitable than it had ever been. This is what I mean when I say that relaxation increases rather than decreases your effectiveness. When you assume your wish fulfilled and relax into that assumption, you align yourself with the creative intelligence that knows exactly how to manifest your desire. You become a clear channel for inspired action rather than a resistant obstacle to your own good. The actions you take from this relaxed, assumed state are not forced or anxious. They are natural expressions of your new identity. Just as a confident person naturally takes confident actions, and a loving person naturally expresses love, when you assume your wish fulfilled, you naturally take the actions that are appropriate to that fulfilled state. But here is something crucial to understand. These actions often look different from what your rational mind thinks they should be. Your logical mind might think that the way to attract money is to work more hours at your current job. But from the consciousness of abundance, you might be inspired to take an art class that leads to a lucrative creative opportunity. Your reasoning mind might think that the way to find love is to go on more dates. But from the consciousness of being loved, you might be inspired to volunteer for a cause you care about, where you meet your perfect partner. This is why I emphasize the importance of following your inspirations when they arise from your assumed state. Do not judge these impulses by whether they seem logically connected to your desire. Trust that the intelligence that created the universe knows how to arrange the circumstances of your manifestation better than your conscious mind does. This brings me to another aspect of allowing that many people struggle with, allowing their manifestation to come in ways they did not expect. So often, People have very specific ideas about how their desires should manifest. And when the universe presents them with their good in a different package, they reject it because it does not match their expectations. I remember a woman who desperately wanted to get married. She had a very clear picture of her ideal husband, his appearance, his profession, his background, even his personality traits. She spent months imagining herself married to this specific type of man. But when a wonderful man entered her life who was quite different from her mental image, but who offered her deep love and companionship, she almost rejected him because he did not match her preconceived notion of what her husband should be like. Fortunately, she had the wisdom to look beyond her expectations to the feeling she truly desired, the feeling of being deeply loved and cherished. She realized that this man offered her everything she had truly wanted, just in a different form than she had imagined. They were married within a year and shared a beautiful life together. This is why I always advise people to focus on the feeling of their wish fulfilled rather than on specific forms or circumstances. The feeling is the essence of what you truly want. The form is just one possible way that feeling might be expressed. When you remain attached to specific forms, you limit the ways in which your good can come to you. When you focus on the feeling and allow the form to be chosen by infinite wisdom, you open yourself to manifestations that exceed your imagination. The same principle applies to timing. Many people become impatient when their desires do not manifest according to their preferred schedule. They want their good now, in this moment, and they interpret any delay as evidence that the law is not working or that they are doing something wrong. But I want you to understand that divine timing is always perfect timing, even when it does not align with your personal preferences. Sometimes a delay in manifestation is actually protection, preventing you from receiving your good before you are truly ready to handle it wisely. Sometimes what appears to be a delay is actually preparation, allowing circumstances to align in ways that will make your manifestation even more wonderful than you originally imagined. Sometimes the timing that seems wrong to your limited perspective is exactly right from the perspective of your highest good. I think of a young man who was desperately trying to manifest a specific job opportunity. He had imagined himself in this position for months, had felt the joy and satisfaction of doing this work, and had assumed it was his with complete conviction. But months passed, and the position went to someone else. He was devastated, thinking that his efforts at manifestation had failed. But within weeks of this apparent disappointment, an even better opportunity presented itself, one that he had not even known existed. This new position offered him greater responsibility, higher compensation, and work that was more aligned with his true passions. Later, he learned that the original job he had wanted would have been eliminated in a company restructuring just months after he would have started. The delay that had seemed like failure was actually perfect timing, protecting him from a situation that would have caused him great stress, directing him toward an opportunity that was far superior to his original desire. This principle, when fully understood and applied with unwavering faith, will elevate you to heights you've scarcely imagined possible. The principle I speak of is encapsulated in these simple yet profound words: act as if you are the best. No one is better than you. Now you may be thinking, Neville, isn't this arrogance? Isn't this contrary to humility and modesty? And to that I say, my dear friends, you have been misled by the limitations of your physical senses and societal conditioning. For what I speak of is not ego-driven arrogance, but rather a profound understanding of your true nature, your divine essence. Consider for a moment the nature of the universe itself. Is it not a manifestation of perfection, of divine order? And are you not an integral part of this universe, a unique expression of the divine? When you truly grasp this truth, you will understand that acting as if you are the best is not arrogance, but an alignment with your true divine nature. Let us delve deeper into this concept as it applies to your life, to your consciousness, which is the one and only reality. When you act as if you are the best, you are making a powerful declaration to your subconscious mind and to the universe at large. You are stating with absolute conviction that you embody the highest and best qualities, that you are capable of greatness in all areas of your life. This, my friends, is the secret to unlocking your full potential, to manifesting your deepest desires and grandest dreams. For your outer world is nothing more than a reflection of your inner beliefs and assumptions. When you assume the feeling of being the best, when you act from a place of unshakable confidence and self-assurance, you are reshaping your entire world. Let us explore this principle through the lens of various aspects of life. In matters of career and professional achievement, many hold themselves back, doubting their abilities, comparing themselves unfavorably to others. But I tell you, this self-doubt is the very thing that creates the experience of mediocrity and failure. When you act as if you are the best in your field, when you carry yourself with the confidence of a top performer, you are telling your subconscious mind, I am capable of greatness. I am worthy of success. Imagine, if you will, a musician preparing for a performance. If they step onto the stage doubting their abilities, comparing themselves to other musicians, how can they possibly give their best performance? But if they step onto that stage fully embodying the belief that they are the best, that no one can play this piece better than they can, their performance will be transformed. They will play with a confidence, a passion, a mastery that will captivate their audience. The same principle applies to every area of your life. Whether you are a business person closing a deal, a parent raising a child, an athlete competing in a sport, or an artist creating a masterpiece, when you act as if you are the best, you tap into a wellspring of power and ability that you may not have even known existed within you. Now, some of you may be thinking, but Neville, I'm just starting out in my field. How can I act as if I'm the best when I have so much to learn? To this I say, it is not about denying the need for growth and learning. It is about assuming the state of the person you wish to become. When you act as if you are already the best, you accelerate your growth. You attract opportunities for learning and advancement. You become a magnet for success. Remember the biblical injunction, let the weak say, I am strong. This is not about denial or deception. It is about aligning yourself with your highest potential, your divine nature. When you say, I am strong from a place of weakness, you are not lying to yourself. You are declaring your true nature, calling forth the strength that already exists within you. Let us now turn our attention to the realm of relationships and personal interactions. Many approach relationships from a place of insecurity, always seeking validation, always comparing themselves to others. But I tell you, the secret to magnetic, fulfilling relationships to act as if you are the best, to carry yourself with unshakable self-assurance and self-love. Think of self-love and confidence as a fragrance you wear. When you truly love and believe in yourself, when you act as if you are the best version of yourself, you radiate an energy that attracts others to you. People are naturally drawn to those who exude confidence and self-assurance. By acting as if you are the best, you not only transform your own experience of life, but also inspire and uplift those around you. In the realm of personal growth and self-improvement, the same principle applies. There are those who constantly berate themselves for their shortcomings, who focus on their flaws and limitations. But I tell you, this self-criticism is counterproductive. When you act as if you are the best, when you focus on your strengths and potential rather than your perceived weaknesses, you create the mental and emotional conditions for rapid growth and transformation. Consider the great achievers throughout history. Did they not act as if they were the best, even before their greatness was recognized by the world? Did they not have an unshakable belief in their abilities, their vision, their potential? It was this very belief, this acting as if they were the best, that allowed them to persevere in the face of challenges, to push beyond perceived limitations, to achieve what others thought impossible. Now, let us address a common concern that arises when discussing this principle. Many fear that acting as if they are the best will lead to complacency, to a lack of drive for improvement. But understand this: true greatness, true mastery is not a destination but a journey. When you act as if you are the best, you are not claiming perfection or completion. You are aligning yourself with your highest potential, committing yourself to continuous growth and improvement. Moreover, when you truly embody this principle, you understand that being the best means constantly striving to be better. It means setting higher standards for yourself, pushing your boundaries, expanding your capabilities. The true master, the one who acts as if they are the best, is always a student, always seeking to learn, to grow, to evolve. Let me share with you a personal experience that illustrates the power of this principle. When I first began my career as a lecturer and teacher of these universal truths, I was filled with self-doubt. I compared myself to other speakers, other teachers, always feeling that I fell short. But then I made a decision. I decided to act as if I were the best teacher of these principles, as if no one could convey these truths more effectively than I could. The transformation was immediate and profound. My lectures became more powerful, more impactful. My audience grew and I began to receive invitations to speak at larger venues. But more importantly, I found myself growing, evolving, deepening my understanding of these principles in ways I never had before. By acting as if I were the best, I called forth the best within me. And I continue to do so every day. This principle extends beyond individual achievement. It applies to every role you play in life. As a parent, act as if you are the best parent your child could possibly have. As a friend, act as if you are the most loyal, supportive friend anyone could ask for. As a citizen, act as if you are the most responsible, engaged member of your community. Consider for a moment the nature of your thoughts. Your thoughts are creative power, shaping your reality moment by moment. When you think thoughts of mediocrity, of not being good enough, you create experiences that reflect these beliefs. But when you consistently think thoughts of being the best, of excellence, of mastery, you set in motion forces that will bring these experiences into your life. Now I can hear some of you thinking, but Neville, what about humility? Doesn't the Bible teach us to be humble? And to this I say, true humility is not thinking less of yourself, it's thinking of yourself less. When you act as if you are the best, you are not placing yourself above others. You are simply recognizing and honoring the divine potential within you, the same divine potential that exists within all beings. Think of yourself as a unique instrument in the grand orchestra of the universe. To act as if you are the best is to play your part to the fullest, to contribute your unique tone to the cosmic symphony. It is not about being better than others, but about being the best version of yourself, about fully expressing your divine nature. Let us now explore how you can begin to apply this principle in your daily life. Start by observing your self-talk, the inner conversation you have with yourself. How often do you downplay your abilities, doubt your worth, compare yourself unfavorably to others? Make a conscious decision to change this inner dialogue. Speak to yourself as you would to someone you deeply admire and respect. As you go about your day, carry yourself as if you are the best at what you do. Stand tall, move with purpose, speak with conviction. Act as if success is not just possible, but inevitable. Act as if you are already living your ideal life, as if you have already achieved your grandest dreams. Remember, the outer world is a reflection of your inner state. As you cultivate this feeling of being the best within yourself, your outer world will begin to reflect this belief back to you. You will find yourself attracting opportunities that align with your newfound sense of self-worth. You will notice people responding to you differently, treating you with greater respect and admiration. But here's a crucial point. Do not act as if you are the best out of a need to prove yourself to others or to gain their approval. Act as if you are the best because it is the truth of your being, because it aligns you with your divine nature. The opinions of others are irrelevant. What matters is your own conviction, your own unwavering belief in yourself. As you embrace this principle, you may find that your entire perspective on life begins to shift. Challenges that once seemed insurmountable will appear as opportunities for growth and self-expression. Failures will no longer devastate you, for you will see them as valuable lessons on your journey of continuous improvement. Success will no longer surprise you, for you will see it as the natural result of your alignment with your true, divine nature. Consider the words of Jesus, "Be ye perfect, even as your Father which is in heaven is perfect." This is not a command to achieve some impossible standard of perfection. It is a reminder of your true nature, your divine essence. To act as if you are the best is to align yourself with this divine perfection, to allow it to express itself through you in all that you do. Now let us address another aspect of this principle, the impact it has on your ability to serve others. When you act as if you are the best, when you fully step into your power and potential, you become capable of making a greater positive impact on the world around you. You become a beacon of inspiration for others, a living example of what is possible when one fully embraces their divine nature. Many hold themselves back from fully expressing their gifts, from stepping into their power, out of a misguided sense of humility or a fear of outshining others. But I tell you, by dimming your light, by playing small, you are not serving anyone. The world needs you to be your best self, to fully express your unique gifts and talents. By acting as if you are the best, you give others permission to do the same. Let us now turn our attention to the realm of creativity and self-expression. When you act as if you are the best, you free yourself from the paralyzing effects of self-doubt and comparison. You allow your unique creative voice to emerge, unencumbered by fears of judgment or criticism. Think of the great artists, inventors, and innovators throughout history. They did not create their masterpieces by doubting their abilities or constantly comparing themselves to others. They acted as if they were the best, as if their vision and their voice were uniquely valuable and worthy of expression. And in doing so, they brought forth works that continue to inspire and transform the world. You too have within you a wellspring of creativity, a unique perspective, a distinctive voice. When you act as if you are the best, you give yourself permission to fully express this creativity. You silence the inner critic that would hold you back, and you allow your true self to shine forth in all its brilliance. Now let us address a question that often arises when discussing this principle: what about competition? How can everyone be the best? And to this I say, true greatness is not about competing with others. It's about competing with yourself, about constantly striving to be a better version of yourself than you were yesterday. When you act as if you are the best, you are not claiming superiority over others. You are simply committing to bringing your best self to every situation, to every interaction, to every task. You are declaring your intention to live up to your own highest standards, regardless of what others are doing. Moreover, when you truly embody this principle, you understand that there is abundance in the universe. There is room for everyone to be their best self, to fully express their unique gifts. Your success does not come at the expense of others. On the contrary, as you step into your greatness, you create more opportunities for others to do the same. As we delve deeper into this principle, let us consider its application in the face of adversity and challenges. Life will inevitably present you with obstacles, with moments of doubt and uncertainty. It is in these moments that acting as if you are the best becomes most crucial. When faced with a challenge, ask yourself, how would the best version of myself handle this situation? Then act accordingly. Approach the challenge with confidence, with the unwavering belief that you have within you all the resources you need to overcome it. For in truth, every challenge is an opportunity for growth, for the further expression of your innate greatness. Consider the great leaders and visionaries who have changed the course of history. Did they not act as if they were the best, even in the face of seemingly insurmountable odds? Did they not carry themselves with unshakable confidence and conviction, even when the world doubted them? It was this very attitude, this acting as if they were the best, that allowed them to persevere and ultimately triumph. Now, let us, as a common obstacle that prevents many from fully embracing this principle, the fear of failure. Many hold back from acting as if they are the best because they fear that if they fail, they will be exposed as frauds or imposters. But I tell you, this fear is based on a fundamental misunderstanding of the nature of success and failure. Failure is not the opposite of success, it is a part of success. When you act as if you are the best, you understand that every failure is a stepping stone to greater achievement, every setback an opportunity for growth. You approach failure not with fear, but with curiosity and a determination to learn and improve. Moreover, when you truly embody the principle of acting as if you are the best, you understand that your worth is not determined by external outcomes. You are inherently valuable, inherently worthy, simply by virtue of your existence. Your successes do not make you more worthy, and your failures do not make you less worthy. You are already the best, simply by being who you are. As you embrace this truth, as you act from this place of inherent worth and confidence, you will find yourself taking more risks, pursuing bigger dreams, stepping out of your comfort zone. For you will understand that the greatest risk is not in failing, but in never fully expressing your true potential. Let us now explore the relationship between acting as if you are the best and your life's purpose. Many people struggle to find their purpose, feeling lost or unfulfilled. But I tell you, your purpose is intrinsically linked to your unique gifts, to the best version of yourself. As you act as if you are the best, as you fully step into your power and potential, you naturally align with your deepest purpose. Your purpose is not something external to be found, but something internal to be expressed. As you act as if you are the best, as you bring your highest self to every situation, you will find a sense of fulfillment and meaning that cannot be achieved through half-hearted efforts or playing small. Consider the great change makers and innovators throughout history. They found their purpose not by doubting themselves or playing it safe, but by fully embracing their potential, by acting as if they were the best at what they did. In doing so, they not only changed the world, but experienced a profound sense of alignment and fulfillment. You too have within you the power to make a difference, to contribute something unique and valuable to the world. As you embrace the principle of acting as if you are the best, you will naturally align with this deeper purpose. You will find yourself drawn to opportunities that allow you to express your unique gifts, to make your highest contribution to the world. Now, as we near the conclusion of our discourse, I want to impress upon you the importance of persistence in applying this principle. Acting as if you are the best, living from a place of unshakable confidence and self-assurance may feel unnatural at first. You may encounter resistance, both from within yourself and from others who are uncomfortable with your newfound confidence. But I urge you to persist. Make acting as if you are the best a habit, a way of life. Start each day by asking yourself, how would the best version of myself approach this day? How can I bring my highest self to every interaction, every task? As you do this consistently, you will find it becoming easier, more natural. It will become not something you do, but who you are. Remember, you are not alone in this journey. The same power that created the universe flows through you. The same intelligence that orchestrates the dance of galaxies is at work in your life, guiding you towards the full expression of your divine nature. Trust in this power. Align yourself with it by maintaining the unwavering practice of acting as if you are the best. In closing, I want to leave you with this thought: the state of being the best, of living in alignment with your highest potential, is not something external to be achieved. It is a state of consciousness to be assumed. As you act as if you are the best, as you live from this state of unshakable confidence and self-assurance, you are not pretending or deceiving yourself. You are aligning with your true nature, your higher self, the divine within you that knows no limitations. So go forth, my dear friends, and act as if you are the best in all that you do. Carry yourself with the confidence of one who knows their true worth. Speak with the authority of one who is aligned with their divine nature. Act with the certainty of one who understands that they are a unique and valuable expression of the infinite. Remember, the world is yourself pushed out. As you act as if you are the best, as you embody the state of confidence and self-assurance, you set in motion forces beyond your comprehension. You activate the law of assumption, drawing to yourself experiences that reflect your newfound sense of self-worth and capability. Let your every thought, word, and action spring from this new state of being. Let your inner conversation reflect the reality of being the best version of yourself. Speak to yourself and others as one who is fully aligned with their highest potential would speak. Carry yourself with the quiet confidence of one who knows that they are capable of greatness in all areas of life. And above all, have faith. Faith not as a mere belief, but as the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Let your faith in your own inherent worth and capability be unshakable. For it is the very force that will move mountains and part seas to bring about the manifestation of your grandest dreams and deepest desires. As we conclude, I want you to take a moment to fully embrace this truth. Close your eyes, if you will, and feel the reality of being the best version of yourself. Feel the confidence, the self-assurance, the sense of purpose and alignment. Let it permeate every cell of your being. Breathe it in. Let it fill your lungs, your heart, your entire body. Now,